watchers, and of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. As I was getting ready to dive into our weekend program, this is, of course, the eye hypnosis life foundation program version 2.0. I looked at the clock and I suddenly realized that the day had just kind of started really early, but had run on when I wasn't looking. And as you can probably tell from the background, we've spent the day doing a lot of, I'm putting a lot of our Christmas decorations up. And so, while now my habit is, of course, to record this live every morning, doing it, before 11 o'clock typically. For a change, it's like old habits. So I kind of completely, for a moment, I had forgotten that morning is the time when I normally do the pod. And so when I looked at the clock, I said, okay, I still have a few more minutes because we do go on at 8 and it's about 7:50, 51 right now. So I said, you know what, let me just dive in and let me do the live, let me do the pod. Because again, this is really the theme of what we're talking about, which is making sure that we really do keep showing up. Life can sometimes, quote unquote, get in the way. Life can sometimes distract us, and it's very easy to let our habits fall by the wayside. And so, while of course today has been a beautiful day, we had a day of our sessions with people who are in the eye hypnosis life personal personal mastery, the personal mastery program. This is of course level one, and we did a really deep dive into language, and that was such a beautiful part of the day. And earlier on in the day, between 6 and 7 in the morning, we all went for a morning waka, as I like to call it. And so it was a day filled with different things that we did. But as one would say, that is no excuse to not keeping our schedule on track. So, as I was also looking at the clock, I said, okay, you know what? I do have time. I can do the live. And so here I am making sure that I am keeping the scoreboard ticking. And as always, these pods are designed as a way to remind myself and of course to remind you that, especially as a healer, especially as a coach, this work that we do is far greater, is far more powerful than we even realize. And it's only from time to time when we have conversations with people that we will realize that the work that we're doing, it all adds up. So, if you've been struggling with a habit, especially when it comes to, really being able to sustain the habit, to be consistent, the simple key is just to keep showing up. You may show up for a few minutes, maybe you may show up for much longer, but the key on a daily basis is to keep showing up. So for me, today was definitely a reminder. In fact, I was talking to a cousin of mine who's also in the coaching space, and it was beautiful to have those conversations. And I get to have those conversations because I made it a point to keep showing up. Right? Especially at times when I wanted to give up, I still made it a point to keep showing up. So as always, these pods are made in service of you, especially as a healer, especially as a coach. So, keep showing up. And of course, if you are somebody who's you're a seeker, which means you're still on the journey, you haven't yet figured out what is the larger purpose at play, that's totally fine. Right? So as always, having said all of this, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I want you to know I truly appreciate you. I see you. And if we've met or haven't met yet, just remember the world is round and we definitely will. So having said all of that, of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.